If you click on that box on the left, it says tell a little bird. There's going to be a dialog box that comes up there and composes a tweet. If you click post tweet, that will go out to all of your followers, and people will be aware that this is going on and how to get to it. Hey, Gary and Amza, I don't know how to pronounce that. Somebody from Perth, though, it looks like. But the reason that you want to do that is it notifies people, where you're at and what's going on. And when you start doing your own blabs, if you encourage people to do that at the beginning and you get that done, then it will increase the viewership of your blab. Giving props. The next thing to do is put your mouse over me or over Ron or over Nina and double click. And you're going to see these little bubbles pop up there. And those little bubbles are what's called props. And that's what people who are blabbers, for those who like that phrase, who are blabbers, they like that. That's a way to acknowledge that they said something that you liked, or that you agreed with. And props do not accumulate on a profile. They're not like likes and follows and all that sort of stuff.
Hold up, Stan, man. Stan the man. Hold up 1 second, man, real quick. We just got Asthmatic here. I'm going to take over the scene real quick 1 second, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. In fact, what is it that you want to say?
Yeah, got a dark cloud in my mind, and I don't think that it's leaving. Trying to get loud on the mic, but I don't.
So, thanks very much for stopping in. So we want to go back to what we were discussing, and that is that at the end of this, if you want to come in and take over the mic and talk to us like that, that's okay. Props do not accumulate on a profile. At the end of the blab, they're discarded. There's no points that are awarded or anything like that, but it's still a nice gesture. In the document, the PDF, yeah, I know. Not a very good one either. But anyway, your blab profile matches your Twitter profile, but it doesn't have to. You can change it and better suit the message that you want to deliver to people or to convey on blab. And this is a good idea because, you may want to have a specific thing that you're trying to, or target market that you're trying to do over here. Blabbers roll over each other's profile up at the top. When you roll your mouse over there, you'll see a drop down that gives you the information about, like Gary Matson right now. I know he's in Scarborough, UK, to Toronto, Canada, to Kansas City. We got things to talk about. I got married in Kansas City. You never know when you'll end up. So I'm going to follow him because of the Kansas City connection. And, but the way that you change that is you roll over your picture over on the top right-hand side, and you'll see a drop-down that comes down. And that drop-down it'll say start a new blab, profile, settings, and log out. What you want to do is you want to click settings. Don't go to the profile, because if you click on the profile, that will take you out of the blab. So if you click on that picture, you go to the second link in the drop-down, you'll see the fields for your name, email, address, and bio. And that's where you fill out that information that you want to show up when people roll over your profile picture. The change is immediate, and you can change it while you're in a blab. There's also a line that says image that's got a clickable button. It's right in the middle that says choose file. The image you choose here does not have to match your Twitter profile, and this allows you to change it. So if you're using a business Twitter account, but you know that you'll get better response by using your real picture here, you can put your real picture here, because it seems to be the way to do things here on Blab more than any. You can turn desktop notifications on and off right there, so that when somebody follows you, you can get an email or a friend or a founder. All of it there is pretty self-explanatory. And then we're going to go to the, again, following the documentation here, you're going to see a thing that says, it is J Ford 2309. We are recording this, but I didn't get the very beginning of it. So it will be in replay so that you can go back and take a look of it there too. Other neat things, once you're out of the blab and you want to look at your profile and see the things that are on it, don't do it while you're in a blab, because it'll kick you out. but you'll go to that same link up there on the top right-hand side, and you'll see a thing that says profile. And your profile will show you these things. It'll show you the number of days you've been on Blab. If you've already hosted some Blabs, they will be viewable on your page under replay. And I realize that I've held this up a little bit too fast several times, but you will have this. If you want to put that link over there for them again, Nina, if you download this document, you'll have what we're talking about here to follow along and see too. We don't mind if you print it out. We encourage it. We encourage you to share it with others. Okay, so now in each Blab, you can have 4 blabbers. I'm doing the best I can, special person in the audience, including the host. The host sits in the top. This says right-hand square, but it's actually the left-hand square. And I changed that on the update this morning. The host determines how many seats will be open. There's 4 seats that are open right now, but when you start your own Blab, you'll see a thing that says lock seat. And so I could actually lock this into 2 seats. I could lock it into 1 seat. I could lock it into 3 seats. So there's a mechanism to do that. When somebody talks about having a private Blab, you can have a private Blab only in that nobody else can join it. You can't have a private Blab that nobody else can see. On the right-hand side, you'll see a comment stream where Nina just posted the link. And if you want to type your comment into that area that says type something cool, just type that and hit enter, and we'll be able to see it. But if you want to get, here's how you get attention so that there's a lot of comments in these Blabs. There's a lot of things that scroll through there and you can't see, what's going on as a host or even as a person that is in the Blab that is being interviewed or something like that. So here's how you do that. I want you to take I know Ron's got one of these already made up. /Q in the comment box. That /Q in the comment box and just type in your question. Put a space and then say question. And if you want to confirm that, go ahead and do that now so that we can see, or if you've got a question, we'll work on getting to that at the end. But if you want to go ahead and type your question or put some, yes. Can you lock all seats? Yes, except for your own. If you locked all seats, it wouldn't be a whole lot of blabbing going on. Okay, so if you guys want to type that Q, that'd be great. All right, now up in the comment stream also, if you roll your mouse over the comment stream, and let's say we're going to roll over Sheila Hensley, you'll see a light gray star and a reply arrow. If you click the star, it's going to turn that yellow, and anybody that's that's being interviewed or in the box here looks over there and they can see that star and know, okay, well, that must be something that people like. Do I need to talk about that for a minute? And it's just a way to give people in the stream some props on being here. Now, the next thing in that is that little arrow. If you click on that arrow, you can go ahead and do that with Sheila's, or you can do that with Nina. If you click on the little reply arrow, you'll notice down in the comment box that it automatically enters in their username and their password, or not their password, but enters their username or I think they call them, they don't call them usernames here. They call them code names or something. I'll have to think about what it was that they called them. Does anybody know off the top of their heads? Yeah. Yes. The answer to that real Foxman is yes, you can do that. We'll get to that later. You can come in a little bit later and ask that. So if you, I was talking about the reply, right? Yeah. So it puts their username in there. And here's the reason we want to do that, because if you try to, on most cases, if you try to, thank you, Leila, or Elaine, if you try to type in the name that you see in the comment box, sometimes that is not the person's username, and they will not get notified. I've noticed that as you type in the name and nothing happens. Hi, Israel live. Glad you can make it. So Joining a Blab is very easy. You just click on the join in an open seat. If the host accepts, you'll join the others on screen. And while blabbing, you'll have the opportunity to meet and collaborate with people all over the world, like the fellow from Israel or lady from Israel. You may want to follow some of these people to find out when they are in Blabs and active within the community. So the way you would do that is you would roll over, like, let's take Melody Jones. Melody Jones I can tell a lot from her by rolling over her picture in the top. She's a social media consultant, a manager, and coach for small business, authors, solopreneurs, and that sort of thing. If I want to follow her based off of that profile, which we talked about in the beginning of this blab, all I have to do is click on the follow, which I'm doing right now. So she'll have 260 followers, and I'm going to follow her. And you can do that from the top. You don't have to go somewhere else to follow them. Okay, now let's say you have tech issues. Over in the comment section, you type in @ do you have one of those signs yet, Ron? @help?
No, not yet, but I will make one up.
I actually saw this work last night in a blab where the blabber was talking, and everything just got really bad. And they typed in @help in the comment box, and Sean came in and fixed it. That actually notifies them, though, Nina. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. That's I love this platform. So if you do that, they just got a notification that somebody with them looked at us and went, okay, well, what is going on over there? So if you want to type something in to not do that, you put it in quotation marks and it removes the code from what's being sent over there. So you can put parentheses, quotations or brackets. There's a couple of different things, something like that. So that's how you get technical help if there's something that's gone terribly wrong with your blab. We've got the queue. The host can accept callers on video. My actual document isn't as updated as y'all's. Now, when you go to your followers and you look at your following list, you do that on your profile page. Again, you'll have to download and print that document. There should be an open seat. There should be a little thing that says open seat down there, Lev Israel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But on your profile page, you'll see a list of followers and whom you are following. Now, you can look at your followers' profiles and you can see if the follow is mutual. You can't look at the people you are following and see if the follow is mutual. You can only see that from your follower, from the people who are following you. And there'll be a little thing down there. I'll hold it up as best I can. The document there where it says, on one side it says following in a big purple box, and the other one says follows you. Okay. And that is not the end of my notes, actually. I'm going to have to go to the update over here. Yes, that is the end of mine. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to open it up. And if anybody wants to come in and talk a little bit, thanks, Jazz. Well, if you just keep the URL to that, because we're working on that daily. It will get longer and we'll have better explanations as technology with them change. Everybody follow whoever you can find here in the stream. And I'm waiting for somebody to come in now that's got maybe a question. Lyle. Man, I'm going to follow Lyle. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. That's like that. I'm going to tell him when he gets in here what I call that.
How you doing? Hope my connection's good.
Yeah, that's what I call the Shamgar. Some people who've been around know that I call that the Shamgar method, which is start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. That's I love that. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to say this. Now, I'm not going to go up to the top for those who have been following along with this. Is that instead of going to the top, I'm going to roll over his. You'll see in if you're not following somebody, you'll see in the 4 squares, you'll see a thing that said that where it's white. his little head there in his square is white on mine. But if I click that, you're going to see a couple of things. You're going to see a bubble come up with my picture in it, which means I just followed him. And so I'm following you. I'm telling you that the reason that I'm following you is because of what you have in your profile stuff.
Thanks.
So did you just get started?
Yeah, actually, I'm a lifelong learning coach. So something I'm interested in doing. I've been looking for a similar platform. I tried doing Google Plus, not so happy with it. But I'm going to be starting a mastermind chat, which is a community worldwide mastermind. So I want to put somebody new in the hot seat every week and have the community help this person, sort of like a smaller mastermind, what we've been doing. I've been part of a great small mastermind group. We've been helping each other with our businesses, advice, ideas, and I want to take this to a different level and use this as a great beta test. So for doing that.
Well, there's a group that we have called the Circadians, which that you'll have. There's a lot of wonderful guests that's in that group. We're all about, just so you kind of give a little about us. We are a GFZ, which is a guru free zone. That's what we are. We're a guru free zone. We think everybody has skill sets, everybody has talents, and everybody brings something to the table. And that the sum of everybody is a whole lot better than the sum of one. You know, every time you get,
exactly.
Yeah. If you got one mind, you got one thought. If you got two minds, you got three thoughts. You know,
yeah,
that's when 1 + 1 = 3.
And that's the whole idea of the mastermind. So, but I like the idea of putting somebody new in a hot seat every week and, you know, featuring somebody new and helping them out. So, you know, that's where I'm headed with this. But what I'm trying to do is I want to know if there was a way to take like I like the countdown because I ahead of time you know, put it on the calendar for a future blab, which will be my first one. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to embed it into my website, especially the countdown to that first blab. So is there a way to do that?
Well, the only way that I know how to do what you're talking about is to use like an iframe to embed the whole thing, to go to your page. Like for example, what I do is I'm using learnblab.thecircadians.com. If you go to that, it comes to
we have children all the day.
We've had kids all day. It's great. But if I use that to tell everybody where to go. So I can use a frame. I can use a frame and frame that in use an iframe to show it. But you cannot embed it until after the show. After the show, there is what's his name?
Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hi.
How old are you, Jason?
5.
How old are you?
4.
4.
Oh, the same age.
Yeah, that's
5.
Almost 5.
Almost 5. Almost 5. When will you be 5?
In January.
In January. Yeah, you're almost there. You certainly are. You certainly are. You're almost there. So at the end, you can download the video. You can download the audio. So you got a strip for your podcast. You got the whole video, and you've got an embed code that comes there too. By the way, if you see a video, and this may not be new, but it was new for me when I was looking at them this morning. Is that if you go to the replays, there is you can get the embed code for the other blabs right there.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you can get the replays from the blabs right there. And I am going to. This is one of the neat things about blabs is that you'll see it when you start one. There's a little pause button. So I'm going to pause the recording right now. If not, Nina's going to start throwing things at me through the